Good. Oh, we are live. Um,
Oh,
how is it that I hear an echo on your end? How is that possible?
oh, you do hear an echo?
Yeah.
Let me listen and see if I can recognize what it is. Hold up.
All right, 1950. Great. Dude, I got so many boxes that I have to mail out tomorrow morning. Oh, and I got to do the damn. Okay, where is. What's up, Rolando? What's up, BF? Logitech. My stuff's going in and out of focus. Granted,
Yeah, dude, that must be something with you because it's not. I'm not echoing on the stream. So,
well, I'm not. I don't hear it anymore. But I definitely heard my voice through your mic. I have no idea how.
oh, duh.
What?
I have these on, and your voice is coming from the speakers. Usually, it comes through the
Oh,
headphones.
okay,
So,
gotcha.
what are we doing differently here? Let me check and see if there is a way for me to change where has cam and mic audio, mic echo cancellation. So I guess you don't have an option to choose.
Do you normally hear? You normally plug your headphones into your microphone and hear your system audio as well as your own voice?
Yeah, because this mic is built for.
Wow.
In fact, I just realized something else. Usually, I hear myself too, so something is definitely off.
Oh, you don't hear yourself either.
No.
Weird.
So let me.
Spartanomus.
Spartanomus. So tell me how this changes things. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's killing my ears. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, see, it didn't help because I can hear myself now, but I still can't hear you through here.
Hello. Yeah, I can still hear it's all right. It's not that bad. But I can definitely, if I'm loud, I can definitely hear myself through your mic.
Yeah, which means I don't even need my headphones.
I mean, if you want to hear yourself, you can. But.
Well, that would be nice, but
well, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Elgato just July 15th was Elgato Day.
You know what? Wait. Tap your mic. No, I think I'm hearing your webcam.
Oh, maybe. Let me check. Maybe that's the problem.
I'm not sure. It's still pretty clear, but it's a possibility that we're on your webcam mic. Well, now I can hear air in your apartment.
Yeah, see, it didn't. I'm still not getting you. Can you?
Yes. So that is your mic.
Well, no, because look at when I this, it's still using the mic. It just
it's just adding noise canceling or something.
I'm sure if I really tap on it, like
yeah.
Yeah, we have to figure this out next time because I don't understand why. Usually, like I said, I hear you through my headphones. It's coming through the speakers, and
well, luckily I can hear myself through your stream now, so that's good.
I'm saying I don't know what you have on your end because I know you upgraded to the paid version of StreamYard, but on my end, I don't have any audio options for output. I only
neither do I. It's either Yeah, you just have when you start, it asks you that never changed. Those settings never changed.
I'm kind of surprised that we're getting an echo too, because I have echo cancellation activated on StreamYard, and then this also has the built-in, like you heard that air come on as soon as so it's weird that you're getting an echo.
I can tell that it's trying to cancel it out. I can't hear it clearly, but I can hear it. Essentially.
What do you think about the shirt?
I love it, dude. I love that shirt.
So
give me that shirt, dude.
A Walmart. So July 15th was officially Elgato Day, and I'm big fans of them.
You and Colby both.
I'm big fans of them because although they do have certain things that may seem overpriced, all their stuff is rock solid. Their lights are very expensive. It's like $200 for one light, and you generally need two lights, so you're talking about $400. But the way they will incorporate with the software and the control you have is pretty nice. But so this mic is an Elgato mic. The software that comes with it is really pretty incredible. But they had some new releases on the 15th. One of them is a device that will convert any XLR into a USB mic. It's pretty nice. And then the one that I'm really excited about is, so webcams have been like...
Yeah, I saw the whole demonstration of that webcam.
Webcams have been sucky for a long time. I mean, when I say sucky, like I have the 920C, okay? That's been around forever. They haven't really improved all that much from that one. Like there was a couple Logitech came out with like a stream cam, and then this other company came out with one, and they're definitely upgrades, but they were still just like webcams, and they still, for some reason, well, not for some reason, but they suffered from a lot of the crap that we deal with, where you start a stream, the settings are wonky, it doesn't save settings, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So Elgato put out this new webcam. It's only $200, which is a great deal. The image quality is amazing. The software it comes with, you have full control over like it's a real camera now. I mean, it's just awesome. And also it has a built-in flash memory. So guess what? You pick your settings, you save them. You can literally take that camera, stick it into your laptop. All your settings are there. Nothing changes because the settings are built into the camera. And so
is this for the audience? Because Colby told me all of this. I had to listen to a whole everything.
So anyways, guys, pay no attention to the guy with the handheld mic. One of the things they did to cut costs was they got rid of the microphone, which microphones on webcams always suck anyways. I wish I could see the chat. Can I? There we go. Anyways, hello guys. Hello, Sarah Stone. Sarah Stone Cold. So they've now
cut you off, but dude, I literally, not only did I get the whole walkthrough of it, I had to watch a video on the webcam.
Was it from what's his name, the blonde-haired guy?
Yeah, probably, because he showed like 3 different webcams.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's one of my favorite dudes. He's so cool, dude. He puts out quality videos. The reason I wound up loving him was he came on about a year ago and said, people ask how much money you can make streaming, how much money you can make on YouTube. And he literally posted his real numbers for like the last 6 months. And nobody does that, dude. And one of his numbers was $150,000 in 1 month. And this guy was being incredibly humble, but it's great because so often this is kind of a mystery, because like how YouTube works is a mystery. And then most people don't want to talk about their money, even though everybody's curious, like how much do you make on this video? How much do you make here? Blah, blah, blah. So this guy just finally came out and put it all out there. And after that, I was like, I like this guy, man.
Well, the problem with that is like everybody, I don't even know if it's the case, but everybody is under the assumption that you are not allowed by YouTube's terms to show your back end revenue.
Well, here's what he did. He didn't show his back end revenue. What he
Well,
did was
I don't even know if that's even true. I just know that people think that that's the case, that you're not supposed to show.
So what he did was this is like the smartest idea, and somebody should have did this a long time ago. He is the creator and owner of Stream Beats, which is very popular. And all he did was, over the course of like a year or two, with his own money, he'd go on places like Fiverr and he'd pay people to make a song. So even if it costs a couple $100, like a retro song, or what do they call it? What's it called? A low. There's different terms of like for different types of music and popular stuff in streaming. He'd pay someone to make a song, and he kept doing this to the point where he had like 3,000 songs.
Okay.
And now he was able to offer this, where it's completely, copyright free, all that kind of stuff. And so that's where he makes about 150,000 a month off of. And he showed like his initial investment over time is probably 30,000, and it's going to be 50,000 because he's going to get more songs. He's going to just keep building this thing, but it's paying for itself. So he showed the money for that. He showed the money on Twitch. And then for YouTube, he didn't show back end. What he did was he just showed like the last 3 months. He just, he put up the numbers. He wasn't actually showing any back end or anything. So, but I think it's nice because I understand not wanting to like share that kind of stuff because it is personal. But at the same time, if you have people out there that are genuinely looking to get into this, or they're curious about like how much can you make doing different things, because on YouTube, he's pretty big. Obviously, his Stream Beats is huge. And on Twitch, he's smaller, but he was showing kind of, the pros and cons, but just how much he makes, and also what he made starting out and what he's projecting to make.
Do you want to show everybody what we make? SKILLZ?
No, I don't. Absolutely not. But what I would like to do is I'd like to hand over the mic. What's up, Cam? I'd like to hand the mic over to Jared for just a moment. Just like an office space, just a moment. And they released the final third film for Fear Street. So a lot of people really liked the second one, and then a lot of people seem to like the third one. So have you watched any other of the films?
I have not. I was going to watch the second one last night, but instead I watched the Eric Andre movie, which was a straight to Netflix thing. And it's kind of like, I don't know. Do you watch the Eric Andre show ever?
I've watched bits and pieces of it, and I absolutely love him. He's so funny. So
he's amazing. The show is almost like a Borat type thing.
Yeah.
Where
I'm very familiar with the show.
Well, no, I mean this movie. So the movie is like the same format as Borat, where there's like a plot, but really the plot is just weaving us in between different gags set up with unsuspecting people.
Yeah.
And it's, dude, like, so I would say for 50% of the movie, like, and this is interweaving, like for any minute, there's a 50% chance that you're just like, okay, and a 50% chance that I'm dying laughing. But what I was going to say about like Fear Street is
hold on before you continue with that, dude. Sure. Yeah, I did see that movie, by the way.
What, the first Fear Street?
No, the Bad Trip. The Eric Andre.
You saw it. Okay.
Yeah, I think I watched it twice for sure, maybe 3 times.
How have you seen it that many times?
Because here's what happened. And just for the record, I loved it. It's my kind of movie. It's silly, it's funny, and like Jared described it, it's part narrative, part like reality TV where they're pranking people. It's so good. That chick that played the bad chick was excellent.
Yeah,
especially when you see her.
Dude, she's fucking amazing.
When you see her, how she actually looks, she played that part so well. But the reason I was able to see it was that Amazon, I think it was it was last November, I think, in 2020. Amazon accidentally so I guess these streaming platforms, they get this content because it was delayed because of COVID. It was supposed to be in the theaters last year. So Amazon had it like basically sitting in the queue waiting for the release date, and somebody messed up and they released it in November 2020, and someone grabbed it, and I grabbed that copy.
Wow.
And so I grabbed a copy because he came on Howard's show and he was talking about it. I'm like, oh, this sounds cool. And then I checked, and then I think on Wikipedia it said that they'd accidentally Amazon messed up. They accidentally put it out, and then they had to pull it down. And so I checked, the place that everybody checks, and it was there. But yeah, I loved it. It was great. I love him. He's so funny. There's so many funny parts in it. I actually, I love Borat and all the films he did. But I like this better than the new Borat, just to put it in perspective, just because it was.
I haven't seen the new Borat.
I like the new Borat, but this was just funner, and it had a narrative to it. It's a simple, basic. It's kind of, think about the way I look at it is almost like Dumb and Dumber. Like he falls in love with this girl, and they take a road trip to go see her, and there's so many funny parts in it, though.
Dude,
anyways, yeah. So
I was laughing uproariously for half that movie, dude. Like, I just when he got me, he got me. And I am a big fan of Eric Andre. I love Eric Andre. I
do too. Like, dude. I said, the only reason I haven't watched every one of his shows is just because of time. I probably watched about five of them, and I love them. But yeah, I mean, I could sit and watch every one of his shows. Like, I could sit down, get up in the morning and watch him until I go to sleep. That's how much I like his style of humor. Yeah. But again, that's my type of humor. I like that kind of, silly stuff where you're like, you pretend like you stick your hand in a blender, or you get your clothes ripped off, or you're getting,
Dude, he was on a show on I don't even know what network. It might have been FX. He was on a show with God, I can't remember the kid's name, but he's one of the kids that's in all the Judd Apatow movies. He's a Canadian guy. He directed the movie Goon, the hockey movie.
Not McLovin, right?
No.
Was it the main character in the one you just said? The bad one. What's the name of that movie?
The bad one. What do you mean? Goon?
With that Jonah Hill.
Oh, Superbad.
Yeah, Superbad.
He was not in Superbad.
Was he in This Is the End?
I believe he was in that one.
Dark-haired guy?
Yeah, he was in he was the lead guy in She's Out of My League or whatever.
Yeah, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
I love that guy too. I can't believe that his name has escaped me right now. But the two of them were on this show. I think it went for 3 seasons. I have not seen the show. But I did see online the two of them go on a news program to promote the show. And the two of them are so funny, dude. I can't even remember, dude. It all devolves into them doing their impression of Korn, the band.
Okay.
It's just so funny, dude. And the news people are trying to they're oh wow, these guys are really funny and trying to be in on it when really they have lost control of the interview. Good luck trying to interview freaking Eric Andre.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's one of those people that he's been in tons of stuff, and I'm sure he's doing well for himself, but never.
Wait, can we just pause real quick? Because there's this thing, this Sarah Stone doesn't get that you weren't making fun of this person, and they've been upset since you said their name out loud.
Oh, Sarah Stone Cold?
I don't believe he was making fun of you. He was just playing with the sound of your name. And if you took offense to it, this literally, I don't know how to make you feel better. He wasn't making fun of you.
I was not making fun of you, but if you'd like me to, I can.
Yeah, he can make fun if you'd like. But Sarah, he definitely was not making fun of you.
But I prefer not to.
I'm sorry that you took it that way, but that's not what was happening. I will make fun of him often.
Yeah.
And he will do that to me, but he won't do that to you. Whatever he did was playful. He was trying to be friends with you, but you're not accepting his playful friendship. So now he's going to be sad. Anyway, maybe I miscategorized that. Maybe you were making fun of Sarah.
The world may never know. But yeah, what were you saying, dude?
So I was gonna say the Fear Street thing. Here's the problem, man. Like, I saw that first Fear Street, and
Pissed you off.
And that movie pissed me off. It pissed me off. And here I want to tackle one thing I don't know if we've talked about. So like on all of the horror groups and stuff on Facebook that I'm part of, like there is kind of a split feeling on the movie. People are crazy about it or people disliked it. But often I see this comment of, oh, it really feels like it was a book and that it's just translated into a movie poorly, and or that it's how a book translates to a movie. But I have to look further into it, but I call BS on this. I have read 2 Fear Street books, and I remember shelving the Fear Street books. So I don't know what all of them are, and I definitely don't know everything about the series. But from what I can tell, this is not Fear Street. They took the name and they wrote a movie and they called it Fear Street. This is not like they adapted the books into a different story. Like it doesn't even feel like it's the same world as the Fear Street books that I read. It's literally them taking a property, making something new. And again, the biggest problem I have with it, they're just playing on nostalgia. They just grabbed Fear Street to throw that on it because they knew that millennials have an attachment to that, like just the font. Millennials were going to go see the movie, you know?
Okay.
And I could be wrong. There could be somebody that's like, no, actually, I'm a huge fan and I've read all of the books, and this is definitely like 3 books tied together or something. But it seems completely unlikely. They were small encapsulated stories. And I guess there were some that might have been in parts, but the big thing I was going to say, though, one of my biggest problems with the first movie, did you watch it now? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't, but I want to watch all 3 of them.
So the first movie kind of introduces what we're going to see in the other movies. It's making its own mythology.
Yeah,
part of my problem.
I watched reviews for all 3 of them, spoiler free, so I'm pretty.
So for me, like in the first movie, it introduced me to the legends I'm going to see in the other movies. Mm-hmm. And for my taste, they were incredibly generic takes on tropes that already exist in horror. Like I'm cool with like paying tribute to like Jason and stuff. I'm cool with like making a brand new Jason. But if we're going to play on the trope and create something that has no feeling, it's just literally generic. It's like generic Jason. I don't care. I don't care. Like, and if you're going to like bottle it up with this terrible mythology of why this person is this way, I know why. If something happens in the next movie, I know why it's happening, and I don't care. It's a bad mythology with some generic characters. I'm just not. I just don't know, man. I hate to be so negative because I will tell you, the first movie is very enjoyable. It's horror and it's a big deal, and that in itself makes me really happy. But it's just not as good as if people are like, oh, there's like this so-so horror movie that's like on the internet right now. I'd be like, oh, cool. Oh, yeah, there is this so-so horror movie. Man, I'm glad I checked it out. But like, there's so much wrong with it. There's so much like breaking their own rules. Mm-hmm. It's not really from the Fear Street books. It's just slapping Fear Street to make me watch. The first movie is only 1994 because they wanted millennials to get excited about 1994. It's all like novelty, and it's a hard 6, dude, and that's worth watching, and that's not bad. It's just not the 9 or 10 that people lead you to believe it is, you know?
We mean there's people giving it 9s and 10s?
There are people that are just praising it to the point where I feel the need to be loudly anti this movie.
What is that called? Are you being a what's the term?
I'm being a negative Nancy is what I'm being.
No, you're being a what is that term I'm looking for? Where you just
like devil's advocate?
Yeah, but there's a term for it where you're just kind of going against the grain, just to.
I don't know that I'm just going against the grain because I have
but
legitimate problems with the movie.
Why don't you show everybody that tape you showed me earlier?
I put it away.
Oh, okay, never mind.
They don't care either. They're all too young. So Pinoy has a question for us. When did Cartoon Hookup start, and how did you find the voice actors for them?
Great question.
Cartoon Hookup started when Right Arm Productions did it in 2011, and then when I stole it in 2012. No, I guess I did in like 2000.
You always give that guy credit, which is cool, but I don't. Was he even doing it in the manner in which you were doing it?
No, he wasn't. But so like he did 3 of them, and he called them Fantasy Cartoon Hookups. And I saw them, and I had the idea for the April and Donatello one. And I said to him, "Hey, I have an idea for my own like cartoon hookup. Is it cool with you if I do it?" And he was like, "Yeah, do what you want." He was like, I'm happy if I've inspired someone to want to do something. So yeah. So I did the April and Donatello one on the first Winky Dink Media channel. And it was voiced by me and my girlfriend at the time. And then it didn't do particularly well. At that time, I was even like going on this site. I forget what it is. I don't even know if it exists anymore. It was almost like a Reddit, like before Reddit existed, where you had to pay $10 to become a member. It was a one-time fee. But then you're in this huge community. And anytime I would make a video, I would put it up in this community to try and get views. And they hated me. They freaking hated me so bad. Every time I would post something, they would come and they would just like vote down everything that I ever put up. And then they click bombed me and ruined my channel. And then I had to quit YouTube.
Yeah, I learned the hard way about those kind of places because when I did my first Animation Buddies, I was going to as many forums as I could. People in forums are like way more critical.
This guy is totally right. I think that's it. Something awful. That sounds familiar. It might have been something awful. Sorry, go ahead, Jim. My bad, dude. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
God damn it.
I'm sorry.
No, but
I can't wait to see this dick that you're drawing right now.
No, I'm not actually drawing anything to show. I'm just doing gesture drawings for practice. But yeah, I put it up. So I put it up in a bunch of forums. I went to I found pizza delivery forums. Because there's a scene with the pizza delivery in it.
Oh yeah.
But the thing I noticed is like on YouTube, it's people either like it or they don't like it for the most part.
Right.
Pretty much they liked it. But these forums, man, all these guys got an opinion on what should be done and how it should be done. And it's like, and it's not even, it'd be different if it was really good criticism or like, I get their point, but it was always like, it's criticizing. It'd be like watching a Monty Python film and you're criticizing the nature of the humor. It's like, okay, well, you just don't like this kind of thing then.
Exactly, yeah.
Are you trying to make me be something I'm not? It was just really weird. But But yeah, I got way more negative response from those kind of places than just.
I feel like there's something about when you are creating something that doesn't have a following.
Mhm.
If people find it and connect with it, that's one thing. But if you force it to people that don't connect with it, it's a bad experience for everyone. In fact, like those people that took issue with your work, if they had found your work organically and discovered from them,
No, because I like I said, I really never give you another example. I put it on my Facebook, and I had some friend from high school that wasn't into art or animation or anything, but it's fine. But he was giving me all these opinions and advice on what I should do and this and that. I'm not trying to be mean. Again, it's different if somebody's, just they don't have to be involved in any type of production. They can just, as a fan, say, "Hey, I think this," and that's valuable.
Yeah, sure.
But when they're just going in on like breaking everything down and what should be done, I'm just like, dude, like no offense, but your advice isn't that great. Number one. Number two, who are you to be coming at me with this where you're just wildly confident on how things should be done,
Right.
It'd be different if you were like a guy that ran a studio or something. Then I'm like, all right, well, he's got his opinion on things because he is what he does. But no.
What's up, Chelsea?
And then the best part was when I did part two. So I did my first animation, then my second one. He came back and he's like, okay, definitely better, but it's like,
man,
you're not my
that's like embarrassing.
I know, man. I'm just kind of like, dude.
Weird, man.
And again, these people, they tend to, their advice is never really, like, again, it's not like somebody from a studio where whether you take it or not, where they're giving you sound advice, from experience, like, hey, maybe consider doing this or, no, it's like trying to manipulate your voice and style to what they think is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, when you have somebody who doesn't know necessarily like what you're doing, they're just like a fan, there's a chance that like what they suggest is just so left field to what a critique even means,
Well, yeah, because they're not, somebody in the business would look at it and say, okay, he's going for this. And he would say, hey, and he'd probably reference other shows that are of the same nature and just point out some things where I maybe missed the mark or probably more importantly, where I could strengthen it. But no, this guy is like I said, he's trying to change my voice, change my sense of humor. And he doesn't realize what he's doing, but he's basically saying, this is my taste. So I need you to change your show into something that I would enjoy watching.
Right.
And it's like, no, dude, that's not how it works. If you are really experienced in this field, to come at somebody understanding what they're trying to do. And then based on that genre or that style or whatever, give advice.
See, also there's a problem with trying to critique that first bit of Buddies.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing too. It's so new,
Well, and like that, the thing was like it very much was a cohesive episode once it was all complete. But at first, you were releasing it in pieces,
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you? There's not a lot you can really critique. Besides, like, I don't know. I mean, there is a lot that you can critique, but like, it's really, I don't know. It's hard to critique it when you haven't really even seen the completion of where it goes. I love the first part of it, but also you don't even completely introduce everyone to your sense of humor in that first one. There are a lot of funny parts, but it doesn't showcase everything that you're going to be going for in that series.
I think you need to watch that first part again.
All right. Well, I will. Dude, honestly, man, I've seen it. I don't know. I've seen it at least 10 times.
Well, thank you. It's very kind of you. I've probably watched your show that many times too.
Actually with my show, dude, I don't know if I've probably told you. I wrote a 4th episode of that show and I love it and I really want to produce it. But also I just talked to the guy that plays Peter the Whale. And he was telling me, he's got a lot of like connections. He's just like a very social dude. And he finds like he's kind of like he's just very, very funny. And he's also social. So he runs into these people that and becomes friends with all these people that can see, God, this guy is funny. And they just want something to happen for him. And one of the things he really wants to do is he wants to just be a successful voice actor with like a show like Oh No, where he can just be Peter the Whale like the rest of his life, But he was saying to me he really wants to do another show and try to take advantage of all these connections he has. And he would like the show to center around Peter the Whale. And he was like, I would like to write it with you and Rico, but like, if you guys didn't want to, I'd like to be able to just go and write it on my own. And he's like, but I fear that you guys are going to, if I were to write it on my own, that you guys will feel like ownership over it. And he goes, that's fine to a degree, but he goes, I'd like to be, one of the creators. And the fact of the matter is that character was inspired by him to begin with. Like, I would consider him owning that character already. Because the reason we wrote that character was because he would jokingly say that he was like a whale out of water, and he would be fanning himself and joking about squirting a bottle of water on his like ass and stuff, like he was already doing the character. We just wrote it into the story for him.
Yeah.
So like I told him, dude, you have my blessing. You could go write a show if you want, but he needs to talk to Rico and make sure Rico's okay with that. Though, and he was like, I don't care if Rico wants to come write it with me too. That's all good.
Rico's busy, okay?
Dude, Rico is freaking busy, man. I mean, he's busy as all get out. But his movie, The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain, is coming to theaters in like September, October, or November, one of the three.
When is the animation coming out?
Which one? What animation?
The one we're working on.
As soon as somebody buys it, man. I have not seen the Chucky TV series official trailer. I saw the teaser that came out maybe a month ago, and then I saw the poster for it that had the release date.
The doll looks great.
Dude, it looks right. I mean, it's just it's what it is, See,
it's one of those things where the rights got split, and so we had that movie come out, I think, in 2019, and then we have the series coming out, I think, on Netflix from the original creator. I did like the movie. Most people liked the movie. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but it was a different take on it. Probably in some ways, maybe a more current take that would make more sense.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad we're going to get back to like, old school Chucky.
Me too. And I feel the same way about that movie. That movie for me was like, nothing that special, but definitely not bad. I definitely enjoyed it.
No, I enjoyed it. I thought there's some really cool moments in it.
I did. It was the worst theater going experience I've ever had in a film ever. I think I told that story in chat, either here or on Boss Level.
Well, tell it again. Channel. Inquiring minds would like to know.
It's just all it was there was a guy watching the movie with
Jared got his ass kicked in the theater. Go ahead.
Dude, there was this guy who laughed all throughout the movie at every point where anything almost violent happened. And it was almost like he wanted to show us, everybody else who was in the theater,
he's not afraid.
He's not afraid. And not only is he not afraid, he finds violence hilarious. And I'm not talking about like only the kills in the movie, Jim. I'm talking about towards the end of the film, there's a car crash where a van T-bones another car.
Mm-hmm.
And he dies laughing like something just hilarious just happened. Or for instance, in the store, a kid pushes the other kid and he falls down and his hearing aid comes out. He dies laughing. I'm not talking, it's not like, oh, the cheesy effects made him laugh. It's anytime anything remotely violent happened in the movie. And at a certain point, it was like, dude, you have to stay home and watch your movies alone.
No, I went and saw. This is what's crazy. I mean, obviously, it's pretty small here, but I went to the theaters and saw. Poltergeist and Lost Boys on 2 different occasions. So they're showing older movies. And there wasn't a lot of people in the theater for these movies. And there was a guy there. So the first one was Lost Boys.
Uh-huh.
And we went and saw it. And this guy was like, it's almost like he'd never seen a movie before. Whenever there was a bit of humor in like the movie,
yeah,
you know, something that you might just kind of chuckle over, he howled with this high-pitched laughter, which made the whole rest of the theater laugh because it was just funny because the way he laughed.
Right.
And it was just like, at first it was annoying, but then it was like kind of cool because the guy was just so genuine, you know? And, you know, how well do you remember Poltergeist?
Not well. And in fact, honestly, Jim, I don't know if I've ever seen Poltergeist the whole
Okay, well, anyways, it was just like those, or Lost Boys, it's like those jokes that were written back in the 80s. They're not even funny anymore. They're kind of corny, but they're still like nostalgic. It's part of the movie. So it's
my
like
old brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire.
Yeah,
oh, you wait till mom finds out.
Yeah, it makes you grin, you know. But this guy was laughing like he'd never seen the movie before. And like this was like the 80s. And this is, you know, revolutionary. And he would just laugh. So it was like crazy. Then like a couple weeks later, we went and saw that was Lost Boys. And a couple weeks later, we went and saw.
You saw the original Lost Boys in the theater?
Well, this is like recently. They show old movies here sometimes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like that's awesome. If you didn't go see it, but
so we go and see that was Lost Boys, and we go and see Poltergeist. And we're sitting there watching it, and one of the characters says something again. It's not a laugh out loud moment. It's like more of just like kind of slight humor. And we hear the guy all in the back. I'm like, oh my God, he's here again.
He's here again.
He's here. So then I got to the point where I'm like, I wonder if the theater hired this guy just to, like, you know, make the movie seem better.
See, if it's genuine, I'm cool with that. But if it's not genuine, then like
no, it was genuine. It was, I mean, it was just, I don't know, man. It was just like it wasn't no place he laughed. Was it funny like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I joke that wouldn't it be funny if you went to a comedy with him and he just sat there the whole time with a serious look on his face. Like he's in a comedy. He doesn't laugh at all.
That's hilarious. Oh, I was going to bring up, again, this is horror related, but you know, that's all that's my whole world. But another problem with horror I'm having and the horror community with the Facebook groups that I'm part of, there is often a post of what is the worst horror movie you've ever seen? And like, it'll just be riddled with Hereditary, Midsummer,
Really? I love
Paranormal
Hereditary.
Activity.
I like that too.
Like all these movies, and like even things that are like Jeepers Creepers or Jeepers Creepers 3 or whatever. And it's like, I feel like I'm not really in a horror community when you're saying these things. Because if you dislike Hereditary, I understand that. There is no way you can say it's the worst horror movie you've ever seen. And if it is, then you don't watch horror. Because there is such terrible horror, dude. Like, such god-awful, terrible horror. So, like, when you say to me that Paranormal Activity 3 is the worst horror movie you've ever seen,
I love that one.
then I know that you're not really, you are like, I don't want to gatekeep, but you're like mainstream horror watcher. Because, like, none of those movies qualify as the worst horror movie ever.
I think too, though, also, if you're really a horror fan, you understand that things being bad is kind of part of the deal. And what I mean by that is there any Friday the 13th that's a great film? To me, they are, but objectively, no.
I agree with you.
And it's the same for the majority of these films. I mean, every now and then you'll get like Nightmare 1, Nightmare 3, Halloween 1. You know, you'll get some that are just, you know, considered really great films. But for the most part, like, I loved every Paranormal Activity except for one. But I know what I'm getting into, and that's kind of part of the joy of the horror film is that it is kind of, I don't want to say bad, but I mean, it's, I don't know. I mean, I guess I assume the really great writers in life, like great writers, for the most part, aren't writing horror films. So a horror film is more about an experience than it is about, you know, some great movie. But again, there's things like, you know, The Exorcist. There's always going to be those films that are truly great films. Jaws, if you want to consider that. But yeah, whenever you see people being overly critical about horror films, because some of the most classic horror films are objectively probably not good films. There you go. Perfect example.
I got 5 of these I'm selling right now. I was just putting that up because
anybody want to buy it?
Yeah, anybody want to buy it? Chelsea asked if I ever liked the Puppet Master. Like, and here's the thing, is like, so on that post for me, what I put in was
got you kicked out.
No, it was Amityville Curse, which is the 5th Amityville movie. There's nothing to like about it. It's not like, to me, it's not fun. It's not got anything in it that's like truly redeeming. The cast kind of sucks. The plot kind of sucks. There's not like a bunch of effects. There's nothing so poorly acted that you're like, oh, it's cheesy. It's not even cheesy. It's just like bad. And I have lots of examples of movies that are like that, you know? There's just so many. There's I watched that movie fairly recently, Alice in Murderland.
Okay.
Like, that's a bad movie. Like, the only thing it has going for it is like the kills, and the effects are so terrible that it's just kind of garbage. I enjoy it. That actually has like something to enjoy, where that Amityville movie is like, by the way, the Amityville 6 is like so good, dude. So good.
Well, that's the other thing too, is my criteria for horror film has always been, is it entertaining? It's never been, is it a great story? It's never been, is it something like, if somebody breaks down why a film wasn't good because of the story or gaps in logic or whatever, that's never like the criteria for me when it comes to horror. It's like, was it fun? Even if it's like corny, cheesy, breaks rules, whatever. If it's entertaining, the kills are cool, there's some classic moments, like that to me is good horror.
So I have to say, just because you said that though, like, one of my problems with Fear Street is the fact that it breaks its own rules. And
Yeah,
like,
no, but I mean, again, though,
like I'm not trying to be like extra sensitive, dude, because I can give like a pass to it. But why create a rule in your universe?
but see, you're not the
you
only.
haven't stuck to.
Yeah, you're not the only one. That's a big criticism of that is that I think I can point to tons of classic horror films that broke their own rules. It's just the way, from what I understand, the way Fear Street went about setting things up and breaking them is just really like if you clearly set up certain rules and then you break them. But that's like a big criticism.
So like I don't want to spoil
that.
anything for you, but like I'm gonna try to do this as spoiler free as I can.
Oh no! Plug your ears, guys.
No, I don't even think I can do it without being.
Yeah, just be quiet. You're gonna ruin it for everybody.
It's just, dude, I haven't even heard anybody like mention the fact that like they break this rule. They in fact set up a rule just for it to be convenient for the one scene that they take advantage of the rule. And before it, they break it, and after they break it. And then when it's convenient again towards the end, they use it for a second again. And it's like, are you fucking kidding? Why did we make this rule?
Though. Yeah, the reviews I watched, that guy mentioned exactly what you're talking about. He didn't get into specifics, but that's what I mean by it's one thing to bend or break some of the rules, but when you make the rules so crystal clear and then you break them, then that's really like maybe you
it's
shouldn't.
Already a nonsensical thing that you just created. Like, it's just, I don't know.
And also things like that, you feel like in this day and age, you know, how do they not catch that? You know, like it seems like easily fixable.
I don't believe that. Like, God, I hate to say this, man. I think Fear Street is like the biggest cash grab. It's a nostalgic cash grab. No one gives a fuck about that. No, none. I don't. I would love to hear the production team talking about it. I'd like to hear who really like fucking loves horror that was behind it and what inspired them to make it and which Fear Street books they loved and why they called this Fear Street. I want to hear them talk about that because I don't think anybody cares about that. I think Netflix saw a potential to make money off of nostalgia and playing off of horror that already exists.
Well, it worked. I mean, people are.
You're absolutely right.
People are hungry for content, so.
Yep.
People are
that's
really.
Why they're gonna love my show, Tow Truck Hero, dude.
But not that hungry. But no. Dude, but no, that's why we need to get some more hookups going, man. Give the people what they want.
Yep, and we're going to, dude. Eventually.
Hey guys, should we stream ourselves making a hookup? Would you guys watch that?
Yeah, I bet all 6 of them would watch it.
There's that many people here? Now I'm nervous. Why did you tell me that?
I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to do that to you.
Take it back.
He's watching from Twitch.
Oh, you got Twitch going too?
Yeah, I always do. And usually there is one person, but it might be Spartan might hop into Twitch and it just looks like
yeah, it's probably Spartone.
Spartone. Yeah, there's one viewer. So that might be Spartan just hanging there just in case. I don't know what we would do without Spartan.
Spartanonymous.
Chelsea, did you watch Fear Street? Did you enjoy it? Did we talk about that already? I feel like you had to have watched it right when it came out. I was really happy I watched that. It is Spartan. That's hilarious. I'm glad I watched that Eric Andre movie though.
I love that movie.
Dude, it was either going to be that or it was going to be the Fear Street movie. And I was like, man, I just dude, I in fact like hovered over the Fear Street movie and it started like playing a scene from it, and I was
You got nervous and you turned it off.
no, it's just like, oh man, I just don't care. It's already told me everything that it's gonna do. I know there can be no good resolution because we know everything that's kind of that it's come to in 1994. So, it's like whatever. Oh shit, my computer's.
So it bugs you when they say stuff like Fear Street is great and Hereditary is horrible. We lost Jared, guys. We lost Jared. He's gone. He's gone. Check yourself before you break yourself. Chelsea, did you like the Purge movies? I haven't seen all of the Purge movies, but the ones I saw, I did like. Waiting for old Stinkler to get back here. Jared Stinkler.
I have seen the first Purge movie. I own all of them. I have tons of horror here, but I've only watched the first one, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I saw that at the theater.
I did. I loved it too, and I'll say for the record, I thoroughly enjoyed Hereditary. I really liked it. Yeah,
I liked Hereditary as well. Oh, so that's what we were talking about, right? Is I got like disconnected. My computer froze and it kicked me out. I guess I don't care if people like or dislike something. Like, I understand when I see Hereditary, I understand that it's not going to be up everyone's alley.
I don't understand why, though. To me, that reminded me of the old school, like 70s horror movies where they really were trying to
tell a
story, and it was creepy. And again, if people come in here with the way it ended or whatever, it's like, who gives a crap, dude? They created a creepy world and tone, and there was some great moments. The acting was top notch. That lady, that Toni Collette chick, I love her to death.
Dude.
She's so good. And so, even if there's some flaws in it, technically or whatever, like, dude, that's a hell of a entry into the horror world. Like, I don't get how people would be that hard on it. I mean, there's way worse films.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's undeniably a good movie. That's part of my problem when people are like, Hereditary, worst movie ever. I enjoyed Hereditary, but if I didn't enjoy Hereditary, I wouldn't ever tell anyone it's the worst movie ever. I would say, dude, Hereditary is a fantastic film. I didn't really dig it. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I could really tell, like, because the thing is, it's not only is it a pretty good story and incredibly well executed. Like, if you want to have a conversation and dig deeper about the the allegory and the meaning behind things and what it's trying to say about women and dude, there's just so many conversations that you can have because what's his name, the director, Ari Aster or whatever, he is trying to make a frightening film, but he's trying to make one that is prodding at questions and is he is trying to make a thinking man's film. He's trying to make brilliant cinema that is more than just there to scare you, but does scare the crap out of you. So, if I don't like it, that's fine, but you should be able to go objectively, oh, it's a incredibly well-made film. It's just, maybe not up my alley.
It just might not be up your Hershey highway, as they say.
Exotic Skull, happy birthday to your daughter, and we love you too, but we love you sexually. So
I always got a notice from YouTube.
Yep. And then Eastern, what do you call Northern November?
Eastern Entertainment. Wait, East. What is it?
I don't remember what you call
Oh,
it.
it's what was it?
I forget.
Eastern.
But he asked if we'd seen the latest Hellraiser. I have not seen Hellraiser Judgment. I was waiting because one of my friends was going to watch all the Hellraisers, and I hadn't seen that one, so we were going to watch that one together. But eventually, I own it. I should pop it in and watch it.
Is
Now,
his friend male or female?
male. It's Jeff, the other boss level 8. He's a huge horror movie fan.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you hadn't seen that, but that makes sense.
Now, for me, the one before it, the first Hellraiser that didn't have Doug Bradley, dude, people hate that movie, and I really enjoy it. I started watching it was on Pluto TV. It started playing the other night, and I started watching it again, and like people don't dig it. I think that it is. I really like when they kind of go outside the box on Hellraiser stories where it doesn't even really like revolve that much around like what like the first couple did, like because anything can be a Hellraiser story.
Yeah,
you know. And in fact, there are a lot of complaints. Like people will say the first 2 Hellraisers were really good. The third one was like, and then from there they all suck. And dude, the 5th one to me, Inferno, where it's not necessarily the best made film, it almost looks kind of almost made for TV-ish. Dude, that movie, for my taste, is one of the best Hellraisers. And in fact, like for my taste, I might opt to watch Inferno before I'll opt to watch the first and second ones. Like, like Inferno is like a near perfect horror movie to me.
yeah, I'd like to check that out. I really do love Hellraiser.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. They're all so different, and some of them are not great. You know, I mean, truth be told. Yeah, I would definitely Northern just check it out. You may not dig it. It might not be for you, but man, I just love that movie. It stars Craig Schaefer, who he's had a pretty good film career, and he was the lead in another Clive Barker property, Nightbreed.
I actually saw Nightbreed in the theaters, Jared.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know, a movie I haven't seen that I do want to check out.
What's that?
It's not really horror, but I guess more kid horror. But Monster Squad. I've never seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen it either.
Really?
Who's in that one?
I don't know if there's anybody. I'm trying to think. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but it's one that people talk about a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one either. And Chelsea asked, do you like horror films that focus on real life events compared to fiction? Which is better? For me, it's just a mix. It depends what I'm like in the mood for. Did I tell you, Jim, about that movie Crazy to Crazy I started watching?
No.
It's a movie about there's like a homeless dude who is like pretty messed up and like kind of crazy. He's not exactly homeless. He like lives in like a hotel, like in a motel. He like scrapes together as much cash he can by like panhandling. But he sees this this real estate agent showing an office, and she's like incredibly hot, right? And he's like, holy crap. And he like literally like as she's getting in her car, he like walks up and he's got his hand in his pants, like playing with himself through his pocket, like watching her drive away. Like,
dude, did you have people following me today?
What? Have people following you?
Sounds really familiar. Continue.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah.
In any case, she had just shown the space, and she had a sheet of paper on the door that essentially had her number, saying, if you're interested in this space, pull a number and give me a call. And so he puts together all of his money and everything to go to Goodwill and get himself one nice, pair of shirt and pants and shoes, and gets himself shaved, and calls her, borrows a phone from another like homeless dude that has a phone, and like calls her to set up so that he can see one of her properties, so that with the intention to rape her. But what he doesn't know is that she's crazy.
Yeah, I like stuff like that.
Now, it's not a very well-made film, but you can tell a lot of love went into it. You can tell there's no budget. And I really enjoyed it. It's not the best ever. It's definitely not the best, but like if you are into horror the way that I am, it's one of those that you kind of suspend your disbelief and you're like, I at least I dig the concept.
Yeah. So that reminds me, there's a guy I follow. He has a horror channel. He does reviews. I like him a lot. And, a lot of times people will ask him, have you seen this film? And he hasn't. So I think it might even be his Patreon. So one of them was a movie called High Tension.
Oh, I love High Tension.
Yeah. And dude, I love that so much. And he just didn't like it. And the reason was the ending he didn't like, the logic. And I'm like, to me, a film like that, again, that's about bending the rules or whatever. That was such a fun ride. That was so intense. The horror, like the tone, everything was done so well that I'll forgive all that other stuff because the main ingredients that make me love a horror film, it had.
Yeah.
And it essentially made me forget about all the other stuff. Afterwards, I can say, well, this didn't make sense or that. But
dude, honestly, for whatever reason, like my mind never tried to poke holes in that movie. I've never thought about it
because I was enjoying it so much, man.
After the fact, like I've always said, I've really enjoyed that movie, and never once has my brain even tried to. Like, I do have really good suspension of disbelief. You really have to really be flagrant with your misuse of your own rules and stuff for me to care. Like, I don't care. Like, I will play by your rules. I will assume what you tell me in a movie, I consider the same genre of film Wolf Creek. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah, I never did see that one. I was always curious about it.
Yeah, same like kind of thriller-ish, like I don't know, really good.
Yeah, that guy was, what's his name? He was a big deal in horror world back then.
Who?
The guy that did Wolf Creek. What was his name?
Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. And I've never seen the sequel to Wolf Creek, or there was also a television show, I believe. Have you seen Skeleton Key with Kate Hudson? Yes, I have seen that. I don't remember it well. I remember it was all around like voodoo in like Louisiana, right? I never saw Black Swan, but
I love Black Swan. That was so good.
Did I tell you I started watching Mother?
Oh, Mother. Remind me who. Wait. That's the one by what's his name, right?
It's the same Darren Aronofsky or whatever. Is that his name?
Oh,
it's the same guy who did Black Swan.
Yeah. So, anyways, real quick before you say anything.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that director. Number one, I think the first film I saw from him, I think, was Requiem for a Dream, which I bought.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought the 4K. I just love that guy. Again, that's one of those guys where he is so much about getting a tone. He does such a great job with creating an atmosphere and tone that I'm willing to forgive just about anything. However, having said that, that same guy I told you that does reviews, he talked about something that took place in that film where I'm like, I don't know if I could watch that, dude.
In
Some
what
of
film?
The baby, Mother. You're talking about Mother, right?
So I have not finished the film.
To
be clear, I have like 40 minutes left of it. In fact, so the reason is I freaking like was loving that movie so much that I stopped because I wanted to like share the experience of seeing it with someone else, you know? But yeah, it like that movie, there's something. So I don't know that director that well. I've seen like a lot of Requiem, and now I've seen like half of Mother. But what was happening in Mother is some of the like and I think it was who said it was Spartan. Spartan said he's not big on Mother. I understand people not digging Mother, but dude, the type of it might be some of the most like deft filmmaking I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, that guy, I mean, there's no question that guy is an incredible filmmaker, whether you like his
but
stuff
there is like stuff happening in that movie. Like I was explaining, I think we might have even talked about this. There are moments where you think that characters know things and understand things and things are right. And there's moments where things seem off and like a character doesn't understand. And there's nothing telling you this. There's no understanding of what the filmmaker is doing. The filmmaker is like communicating with the viewer somehow. Like it's brilliant, dude. It's unlike I don't and maybe I'm seeing something that isn't actually happening, but I feel like it is insanely brilliant.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing.
In like a way that you can't even like put your finger on necessarily.
There's a lot of really great, competent film directors, and then there's like truly filmmakers.
Yeah.
And what I mean is Mother, I haven't seen it, but I'm familiar with his films. I'm a big fan of him. He also did The Wrestler. He doesn't make films.
And I love The Wrestler. I do too. The Wrestler.
But his films are not the kind of films that you present to a studio and they're like, oh, we're going to make a killing on this.
Yeah.
No, he's a filmmaker that's going to make his film the way he wants it. And, you know, it's art. You can say that he is an artist, truly. And then it's not taking anything away from other. I mean, there is something to be said about somebody who can very well direct a action film or a comedy. But I mean, there's guys like this guy who are just, it's like Stanley Kubrick, you know, these guys are filmmakers. They're going to do it their way or they're not going to do it at all. They literally don't care about the money. Yeah. So I feel that way too about what's his name? The guy that did who's the guy that did the one about the lady that falls in love with like the fish creature?
Oh, I don't know who did that. The Shape of Water or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Goosebumps. Chelsea says Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
There you go, Del Toro. Yep, he's awesome.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, here's the thing: a guy like Del Toro, he has an art book. You should look at his art. That's kind of like a telltale sign that this guy is just an artistic person. He's a visionary person, and oftentimes, even like James Cameron, who's you might consider a very technical director, but he's made some of the best action films in history, and he's also a very good artist. Like these guys almost have to be a good artist because they can't just keep everything up here. They have to have a way to put down their visions on paper so they can look at it and think about it. But you should look at Del Toro's art, dude. It's so good.
I'm sure.
Like he could be a professional artist, a concept artist easily, you know?
I wanted to see, he did Pan's Labyrinth, right?
He did that one, and then he did
I haven't seen that. I want to do it. He also did didn't he do the first two Hellboy movies, or at least the first one?
I think he did the first one.
Am I making that up?
I think he did do the first one. It's not like, I wish I had Google.
Yeah, dude.
Here, I'll
Too bad
tell you.
it's 1994.
How are we streaming?
If it were Fear Street in 1994, they've got Google and Facebook in 94. Just
So,
they don't, but
again, with these type of directors like Del Toro, again, it's not about that you can't find something wrong with the film or you don't like it. It's just that these guys are coming from different. He also did the first Pacific Rim, which again to me is brilliant. I've watched that like 4 times, and I've been wanting to watch it again because it's so well done for that type of film. In different hands, Pacific Rim could have just been a throwaway Transformers wannabe. Mm-hmm. And like he infused so much heart in that. Yes, he did the first Hellboy, The Shape of Water, and then Pan's Labyrinth. But yeah, dude. But I kind of put him in the category of like Cameron as far as these guys do films that are commercially successful, but they also are very they take the craft very seriously. They're artists to the core, and they're looking at the whole every aspect of it. Like someone like Cameron. Cameron's weakness is he's not the best with working with actors. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like the performances like in Terminator 1, 2, stuff like that, they're all great. True Lies, the great performances, but he's not the kind of guy that you're going to give like this very dramatic script to and say, like Titanic. That was probably the weakest part of Titanic, was that a movie like Titanic, even though what he did with it was amazing, like the ship and all the technical aspects, it was a spectacle. But there was also a lot of relationships and characters in that film, and that's not. But again, that's a weakness. That's not James Cameron being lazy or just coming to get a paycheck. That's just not his strength. It's not necessarily the biggest weakness, but even like in a movie like Avatar, that was a spectacle that was amazing to see in the theaters. Characters are all good. Don't get me wrong, but there's people out there that can bring out character better than he can, I guess, or bring out actors, bring out chemistry better than he can, I guess. But
I'll tell you, like that's I guess a controversial take on my part. I really didn't enjoy Avatar besides like the visual aspect.
But that's what that was all about, and that was such at the time such a leap forward. But again, you got to give him credit that that's such a major leap what he did.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely give that credit.
Yeah, but this is a guy that cares about his craft. Do you ever see what's his name? What's the guy, the Transformers guy?
Oh, Michael Bay.
Have you seen any Michael Bay Transformers film that, where you...
I've not seen any of the...
Yeah, that's the thing. The guy doesn't... Like, he's good at action, but it's like empty, hollow action. And I've seen all the Transformers. I've probably seen a number of them more than once, just to enjoy them on my system, because they are fun from that point of view. But they're horrible stories. They're horrible characters. You don't ever get into the movie. You just wait to get to the big action scene, and I don't know. But we should probably go because I do believe it's Chelsea's bedtime.
Yeah, it is Chelsea's bedtime.
I just got a text from her mom, and she said, "Tell Chelsea to go to bed." Mama Hutchinson. So, but Chelsea, I think Chelsea's the only one left. No, Sleepy Hollow. Did you like Sleepy Hollow, Jared?
I never saw Sleepy Hollow.
The one with Johnny Depp?
Yeah, I never saw it.
Yeah, we're gonna probably split, man. We've been on for an hour and 18 minutes, and we originally only planned on being on for an hour. And Jared got here late because he had to go to the store and buy bread. Eastern Entertainment said, "Man, I got to hit the hay, but talking movies is cool. Have a good one, boys and girls." Exotic Skull said, "Ever. Don't you ever."
So we did stream tonight on Winky Dink Media along with the new channel, but keep in mind, crew, if you do enjoy hanging out with us, we're not going to be streaming on Winky Dink Media. We'll be on the Wink and SKILLZ channel.
I know
don't
we've
know.
said that the last 5 weeks, but this time we really mean it.
Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna pull the trigger and just completely move over there. I don't know. I don't feel like it will have a huge change, you know. But
Well, Chelsea said she is a grown ass woman, and she snapped her fingers. And then Spartan said, "Join or follow our YouTube channel, and you can win multiple free iPads." No.
yeah, I think they are giving out free.
Oh, we lost Jared, guys. Who needs him anyways? He was kind of getting boring. Exotic Skull. I always watch her videos every night before bed. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I have videos that I watch or listen to before I go to bed as well. As far as gaming, he's back. Well, as far as
interesting, because when you said Chelsea said I'm a grown woman, I was like, oh, he's just speaking on her behalf. But no, she said that
she's not messing around, dude. Have a good night, Chelsea. We'll talk to you soon. No, but as far as gaming goes, Exotic Skull, which is a great name, by the way. I think most people have some type of gaming in their life, even if you're just, playing a game on your phone or whatever. As far as hardcore gaming, I don't. Jared doesn't either. But every Monday I do play Halo with my couple of my good friends. We do that every Monday. I love Halo. I just love Halo. I also like Fight Night, and I've been trying to get into some newer games. I have the new system, the Series X. Good, we got rid of him again. So I'm looking forward to like the new games coming out, which will probably be at least another year. And I'm looking forward to the new Halo. Love you too, Chelsea. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm a big Halo fan, but yes, Spartonimus. But here's the thing. I am such a fan of boxing and Fight Night. I still play that game, and a lot of people do. There's a couple of new boxing games that are on the horizon, so that's good. But I've been really interested in maybe picking up like the newest UFC game and trying to get to that, because I feel like I would love to have a game that I could play with Jared. And I think that's one that there'd be a learning curve for both of us. But if we got around that, I think that could be fun. We could even stream it, because I know Jared is like he's a UFC fan.
I've played those UFC games, and those are good. By the way, dude, I just went back and watched a couple of the James Gallagher fights in Bellator, the little Irish kid. Because dude, he's 11-1 right now. So like he's
okay, yeah, you were telling me,
killing it, and he's got the same coach as Connor, dude.
So Connor did say that he fractured or injured his foot in training. Which people are going to say is an excuse, but I believe it, just because here's the thing. When you and me watched it, because I've seen so many injuries in like boxing and stuff. So when his foot went back and it bent like that, I thought it just popped out of socket and maybe tore or pulled like a ligament or something. You know what I mean? It kind of had that look like your arm coming out of socket, but no, it was a fracture, which is freaky, man. That means that bone just snapped.
Yeah.
And that's really bad. I find it I think we've all had the experience of you're walking and you step the wrong way and you feel something like tweak. And it's usually not even when you're like doing anything intense. You just like get out of bed and you step the wrong way and your ankle but I mean, for your bone to snap like that, a world-class athlete, I would think there was a good chance that there was a prior injury there. But man, that was just I love that necklace, though. I know you don't like Jake Paul, but that little necklace. Just because if you watch the second fight that he had with Dustin, he was doing good. And then once he pretty much got clipped and he went down and he went to this little pose like this, and he had this little look on his face. And Jake got an exact replica of him in that position. And it's like the cutest little thing. And then he gave it to Dustin. He sent it to him. But yeah, we got to go, man.
Dude, you should catch up on those James Gallagher fights, though, because he is like...
Well, send me a link.
But you go to Bellator.com, man.
Send me a link.
Okay. All right, crew.
Also,
Chelsea,
Exotic Skull said you should try a rim job sometime. Cool, man.
Yeah. And by the way, you spoke on my behalf. You were like, no, Jared's not big into video games either, when I have been very big into video games.
No, I'm talking about currently. I know you have been like FIFA and stuff, but now anytime I ask you about games, you're pretty much like busy.
Yeah, though I do play. I've been since Clash Royale came out. I do play that daily. Like,
yeah, but
like
that's not like
5 years now.
It's not like you're on Xbox playing.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not on Xbox.
But dude, we should
guys.
wait. Why don't we talk about seriously getting like the newest UFC at some point, and then we can stream, because eventually we can make our own characters. You can make them look like you.
Yeah, but I don't have the new system like you.
What do you have?
I have the old Xbox One.
Yeah, but everything's still Xbox One. The new system is like, it's a benefit for me for loading times and stuff. But we're gonna play it. We can still like all the what do you call it? What do you call it?
Like online gaming?
Yeah, but what's it called? The
multiplayer?
Like, what are we actually playing on? We're playing on we're going to
console.
Guys, what is it called?
Dude. Yeah.
What is it called? Like, if you're playing,
SKILLZ wants to know what it's called.
If you're playing the game on your PC and you want to play against someone else, you go to a
server.
There you go. So it's going to be the same. There's no like.
You don't go to a server. But
there's no UFC just for like the new system. They're going to keep them so we can both play. Anyways, we should do that, dude. That'd be great. I'd love to kick your ass in front of everybody.
It's a little complicated, those like UFC games, man.
Oh, I know it is. That's why I'm saying I'm really good at the boxing game. I tried the UFC before, never like seriously, but I've played around with it a few times, and it's definitely like I said, there's going to be a learning curve, because you're not just using fists, you're using your legs, use different moves, and then getting on the ground, submission, all that stuff. It's a
different
thing.
Game, man.
Yeah, but I just love the idea of kicking you in the head, and I want to ground and pound you.
Yeah, I know you've always wanted to pound.
And then when the ref tries to stop it, I'm going to take the ref out, dude. You guys should check this out. Go on YouTube sometime and check Fighter versus Refs. There's some great stuff. What happens is
that's terrible, dude.
It's great though, dude. So it's like MMA style fights. And so I'll just give you one example. The guy gets the guy in a choke. The guy taps out. The ref breaks it up. The guy won't let go. The ref's trying to break it up. He finally gets the guy out, and he shoves the guy, and the guy comes back at the ref. And then there's a number of them where the guy's like pounding the guy, and the ref is trying to pull him off, and like he keeps going back and pounding the guy. Finally, the ref has to get him in a choker and choke the fighter out.
Wow.
Because if you notice, a lot of these refs, like it's weird, because in boxing, I've noticed like the refs are like, they're just refs, man.
Yeah.
They may have done some boxing in their younger years, where they're just older guys or refs. They're really good at refereeing.
A lot of MMA refs.
MMA guys are built.
Fighting.
They're ex-fighters. They're built, and like, if you're like a 135 pounder and this guy's like a 220 pounder ex-fighter, and you're not listening to him, he'll take care of business.
Also, like, it's often, I feel like guys get knocked out, and then when they come to, they like try to fight the first guy that they see in their face.
Oh, that was another one, dude. That was another one. This guy got like knocked out pretty much. It was an MMA fight. The ref breaks it up, and they usually go down to like, they get close to the. Yeah, check him out. And the guy was out of it, but he grabs the fighter or he grabs the ref and starts taking him, and he starts putting him in like an arm bar, and the ref, because he doesn't know, dude. He thinks, you're so out of it. There's this guy on you, and you think, okay, I'm still fighting.
Oh,
but can you imagine that, dude? And then people have to come in and break it up because he's trying to take the ref out. That is funny though, dude. All right, guys, we love you. We'll talk to you soon. Server, yes.
All right, peace out.
Homies.